Let's just say this straight. Imagine buying a brand new electric car for $9,600. Yes, you heard that right. Less than the price of an iPhone Pro Max with a fancy leather case and AppleCare. This isn't a toy. It isn't some glorified golf cart. It's a full-fledged EV with air conditioning, digital screens, parking sensors, the whole deal. It's called the Wuling Bingo EV. And in China, it's selling faster than your favorite sneakers on drop day. And here's the kicker. While Americans are busy dropping 40 grand on a base Tesla Model 3, Chinese college kids are literally driving off in brand new electric cars for a quarter of that. So stay with me, because by the end of this video, you're either going to fall in love with the Bingo or be furious at why it isn't sold in your country. Either way, you're going to want to stick around. And hey, if you're tired of missing out on cars like this while the West keeps feeding us overpriced luxury EVs, then make sure to hit that subscribe button right now, because I'll keep showing you what the rest of the world is driving while we're left in the dust. Now, what exactly is the Wuling Bingo? Think of it as a compact, city-friendly hatchback that looks playful but hides a surprisingly smart design. The starting price? $9,600. Let me repeat that. $9,600. To put that into perspective, that's less than a used Honda Civic with 120,000 miles, less than 1 year's worth of parking in New York City, and about the same as what Americans pay in student loan interest over a decade. And here's the funny part. For that price, you don't get a stripped-down box, you get a proper EV with 2 battery options, 17.3 kilowatt-hours for around 203 kilometers of range, and a 31.9 kilowatt-hour pack for about 333 kilometers. That's 200 miles on a single charge. Be honest, did you expect a sub-10K EV to beat some Western EVs that cost 5 times more? Would you actually trust a $9,600 EV for daily driving? Or do you think it's too cheap to be safe? I want to hear your take. Let's not pretend this is a long-haul road trip monster. The Wuling Bingo is designed for urban life, for students, young professionals, and families who just need a second car to run errands. It's perfect. And honestly, that's the genius of it. Imagine you're 19, fresh out of college, living in Beijing, Shanghai, or Shenzhen. Your first car isn't some 20-year-old rust bucket that dies every other week. No, your first car is a brand new EV with a warranty, 0 emissions, and tech that feels modern. That's not just a purchase, that's freedom redefined. This is where the emotion hits. In China, kids barely out of their teens are getting into clean, affordable cars, while in the US, people twice their age are still stuck financing $45,000 trucks just to commute 10 miles to work. Here's where it gets even crazier. Step inside the Bingo and you'd expect cheap plastic everywhere, right? Nope. Instead, you're greeted with a 10.25-inch infotainment screen, a digital driver's display, and even little premium touches like a floating center console. The rear seats fold flat for cargo. The trunk, big enough for grocery runs or luggage. And the design language, retro-futuristic, kind of like if a Mini Cooper and a Nintendo Switch had a baby. And let me throw this at you. It even comes with parking sensors, reversing camera, keyless entry, and sometimes even ADAS features depending on the trim. Western automakers are still selling 30K plus cars that don't give you half of that. Here's the surprise twist. The Bingo isn't slow. The base motor makes around 40 horsepower, while the higher trim gets 68 horsepower. Doesn't sound like much, right? But remember, this is a lightweight EV made for city driving. It's zippy, agile, and darts through traffic like it's late for a date. Top speed, around 100 kilometers or 62 miles per hour. Not highway king material, but for the city, it's more than enough. And in real-world use, people who've driven it say it feels planted, quiet, and shockingly refined for something this cheap. And honestly, if you're commuting 20 miles a day, why would you need more? Not every car has to be a 500 horsepower monster. Sometimes just enough is perfect. Here's where it gets painful. In China, EVs like the Wuling Bingo are flooding the streets, affordable, accessible, everywhere. Meanwhile, in the US and Europe, governments keep talking about going green. But what's on sale? 50K EVs, endless wait lists, and an infrastructure that's barely keeping up. Think about it. America literally invented the modern car industry. Henry Ford gave the world the Model T. And now, the country that once democratized driving is what? Sitting around while China pumps out EVs so cheap they make Western automakers look like a bad joke? It's no wonder US politicians are scrambling to keep Chinese EVs out with tariffs, because deep down they know if the Bingo showed up at $9,600, it would obliterate the entry-level car market. Should governments keep blocking these affordable EVs, or should consumers be allowed to buy whatever they want, even if it's Chinese? So here's the reality. The Wuling Bingo EV isn't just a car, it's a wake-up call. It shows us what's possible when automakers stop chasing luxury margins and start building for the people who actually need cars. In China, a teenager can get their first EV for less than the cost of a semester of textbooks. In the West, you're lucky if that money gets you a scooter. Now, I'll leave you with this. Is the Bingo the future of affordable cars, or is it just proof that the West is asleep at the wheel while China speeds ahead? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reeling every one of them. And if you love seeing how the global car game is changing, don't forget to subscribe, because trust me, this isn't the last time a Chinese EV is going to make us question everything we thought we knew about cars.